Howdy, everybody. I say everybody. By everybody, right now, I mean myself. Um, what I'm doing here. Really, I'm not going to even try to explain what I'm doing here. Explain a little bit about myself without getting into too many details right now. And kind of defeating the purpose of this. But we started out as using it as for kind of a video journal, you know, uh, more so for myself, and but keeping in mind that others will be inevitably viewing it, and kind of a document. I'll try to stick to it. It'd be more like a documentation from this point forward, and kind of an analyzation and interpretation of events that have led up to where I am now in my life, and trying to see it from a different perspective because I had a good friend of mine, Marcus. He's a black guy. Um, he was a special dude. He had a really deep rooted understanding of things like emotions, kind of, and definitely like feelings, and a way to kind of explain things in a dummy form. Not that he was a dummy, but just easier to understand. Or anyway, uh, he I was going through something some other time in my life, and he you know just writing with somebody here recently, it hit me too that it's had a double meaning, and I'm coming to the other side, the other, like, kind of a reflection of it now. He said that if you could see you the way that I see you, then you would see yourself differently. And yeah, it's kind of, but he meant it as, I was kind of down on myself at that time, and uh, you know, I've always been told, not that I'm special, I'm not tooting my own horn or nothing, but I've always been able to do things, with my hands and stuff that, other people were busy going to college and uh, paying bills. I was fucking with stuff. So I have a lot of abilities, but I paid for them with my uh, um, I guess kind of my situation now. But anyway, he meant it as a kind of an uplifting, like, pick your head up, and and I've always thought of it that way, and I've kind of passed it on to other people that way when they get down on themselves. But during what's all this stuff that's going on in my life right now, uh, it kind of hit me differently. I thought about it. If you could see you the way I see you, you would see yourself differently. At this point in my life, what I'm seeing is it's kind of a wake up call, because uh, there's a lot going on, and there's a big lack of presence in my life right now. It's a couple for mixed reasons. Some of my own, some like deliberate, not uh, nothing hateful or nothing spiteful or anything like that. Just life happens. I say a lot. I gotta stop saying that. So it's um um I shouldn't even have said that now. But I have a tendency to forget what I was talking about sometimes, and I miss my points. Uh, God damn it! I should have said that. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to stop saying. But anyway, I want to kind of just uh, touch on a lot of subjects. Well, so kind of what I've done here, or I'm still doing, actually. I got a bunch of these little squares of wood right here, and what I'm doing, because I'm not very good at picking topics and staying on topics, and I've got some things that I'm really that are really raw, and I got some things that are really that I've processed, and what I'm going to try to do is stay away from the recent events until I've had time to process them, and unless there's something just that sticks out, try to stay off topic. I'm not here to bash anybody. I'm not here to talk too much shit. But you know, I am going to be honest. If I can't be honest, I just won't say nothing at all. Because like my mom used to say, "You little motherfucker." No, she never said that. But yeah. So I put them in this box here, and my plan is to just. I'm not going to set times and dates and how many times or a week or whatever. It's just whenever I feel like something, if I feel like I need to get my mind off of something or think about something else, and we'll come in here and I'm going to reach in this box. So I guess I'll start now with the first one, I guess, just to shits and giggles. If it ain't something that I can carry on about, then I'll just move on to something else, or I'll see a squirrel, forget what I was talking about. So we got, Jesus, murder. Oh, man, no. Matter of fact, we're going to put this one back for a different day, which is funny. All right, let's see. And, you know, if this does keep on going, and it is therapeutic for me, and I find that looking back at it helps me reflect, then maybe I'll keep it going, if for no other reason than myself, but or anybody else. That, you know, if you know somebody that's going through something and is you know, having trouble with it, especially along the lines of family stuff, and you know, whether you did something wrong, whether you, well, don't do me too wrong now, because don't hit me with no bullshit. No, I mean, you can, you're more than welcome to. You do whatever you want, you're free, but and I'm not going to do nothing. But these first sessions in particular are going to be what they should be and what I'm trying to do. But I'm going to try to maintain my composure and keep, you know, the sarcasm to a minimum, which is hard because I'm a sarcastic son of a bitch, especially right now. But you know, we'll see what happens. You know, one of my goals in life, I want to write a book, but I wouldn't even really know where to start, and I've forgotten half my life anyway. But that's a topic we'll get into. But anyway, this one I got frustration. Okay, all right, we can touch on that one. Frustration. Let's see. Frustration. One of the therapists that my parole officer, the therapist suggested that, you know, I kind of keep a video, or not a video, just a written journal and all this, and I know better than to confide in anyone and anything that would be, anything that they would want to hear anyway. So, you know, trying not to be judgmental and all this other stuff, and really trying to work on my empathy to the point where it's hard to make a decision on how I feel about anything anymore, because be careful. But frustration. I've had a lot of frustration lately. It's more towards myself as of late. Definitely frustration more along the lines of not that trying to do something, just things about myself really. I find when I get frustrated with something, it compounds it because I'm thinking about it, like I just did with the thing. But you know, frustration with other people and dealing with that. You know, I can say a lot of good things, and you know, I've got some perspectives about things that are different because of the experiences that I've had in my life. And you know, I'm willing to share and discuss any of these things that anybody sees that feels needs to be touched on some more, or anything like that. Because you know, that's how I learn. You know, I feel like everybody's got something for somebody, and no matter what it is. And if you're going to learn or find out about anything in life that you don't already know, then it's going to be from a source that you normally wouldn't have gotten anything from. And but dealing with frustration, usually how I deal with frustration is kind of what I'm doing right now, distracting my mind, doing something else, getting away from it. Because, for instance, when I get frustrated, and say a recent example is, I was soldering something, and I sat down, my little tube of solder, and got everything set up, have my little helping hands. I'm sitting there soldering, and I can't find my solder. I got everything ready. Shit, I know I didn't get up. I didn't go nowhere. do nothing. Conversation in my head's going, okay, didn't go nowhere, didn't move. How the fuck did I lose anything? I didn't do nothing. So I'm looking around. I can't find it. Well, there's a phenomenon that I can't remember who said it, but it had to have been a mother type that I was looking with my man eyes. She called them my man eyes. Because apparently it's not as uncommon as you think. Well, apparently what man eyes is, not mayonnaise, but man eyes, is something to do with certain people, especially people like me. When you're looking for something, you literally can't see it. Maybe belief in the fact and compounds that and frustrates me even more, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. I get frustrated with something, looking to the point where I finally get to the point where I'm like, maybe I did get up and whatever. I remember getting up, but I could have swore I had it here. So I get up, walk around, look, and then I come back down and like, now it can be anywhere. Now I'm not sure if I was sitting here the whole time. So I get frustrated and I'll sit there and I'll fuck, God damn it, son of a bitch, and then I'll stop and I'll just kind of, do something else, because I know myself well enough to know if I start doing something else and I stop looking for it, then I'll find it. And start stripping the wire back, and I reach down and grab the solder, and I reached down right in front of my face and I grabbed the solder and I began soldering and didn't realize that until I was like, what? Shit like that happens all the time. It's not always to that extreme, but I'm sure I'm not the only one. I've done my fair share of mental things in my life, and not necessarily really in too far into anything, but a little bit of everything. We're not going to get into that because, first of all, I guess I don't want to seem like I'm glorifying, and unfortunately, a lot of my good stories are rooted in things that could, incriminate or indict or anything. But anyway, we can still tell stories and talk about things, try to keep things on topic. It's pretty frustrating, isn't it? But let's see. If I'm frustrated, I've noticed this is where I'm not so good at things. Trying to get better at is how I feel. I can tell you how I'm feeling if I'm feeling pissed other extremes. If I experience things, and when somebody says, how you feeling, and tell me how you feel. If you sit there and ask me how I feel, my mind is going to be like, how do I feel? If I explain to you how I feel right now, I feel like occupied. I don't even feel like I'm doing something to take my mind off of something else, and which I am. But but that's a good way. It's just sometimes people say dealing with frustration, or I don't understand how somebody could deal with frustration. I don't understand how somebody could take their mind off something and put it somewhere else. That's how I guess I would be dealing with it. But I've generally learned to accept the fact that I'm gonna get frustrated with things, and that if I let everything that frustrated me dictate my mood, then I'd probably be an asshole all the time, which maybe I am. With another good analogy, which has kind of led me to decide to finally do a good little introspective journey, is they say if you walk out your door in the morning and you're walking down the street, you run into somebody and that person's an asshole. All right, fine. Person, you met an asshole, but if you get up in the morning and you walk out and you run into somebody and they're an asshole, and you're like, God damn, you're an asshole. You run into somebody else and that fucking man, he's a fucking asshole too. You go to the gas station, get something, the clerk's an all these people are assholes. It comes to a point where you got to kind of begin to consider the possibility that you're the asshole. And really, not that you are, but you might just be around a bunch of assholes, which sometimes I believe that's the case. But I do understand that I am and can be an asshole myself, especially to people with differing opinions and different humors. And I am aware of the fact that has been recently you know, a different perspective from somebody. Said that mentioned some, not even joking, they weren't, criticizing me or that, but they said something about my arrogance, and I'm like, arrogance? I'm not arrogant. Am I arrogant? And then he's like, yeah, you said this, and this, and this. He was referring to my sarcastic remarks, and it kind of dawned on me that that somebody that doesn't share your view on things, it would seem kind of condescending or even arrogant that uh, a remark, for instance, somebody that I don't know, I can't think of it. Just stick around. But yeah, it's if somebody doesn't understand, misunderstood sarcasm does, it comes across as arrogant, and that's a perspective thing, But it's frustrating. Jesus, here we go. This is why I got the box. Okay, I'm about over frustrating, so we'll just. How about this? I'll read off the topics so far that I've got in the box, and I'm gonna try not to overdo it because some of these topics are gonna end up being pretty in depth, and some of them, like I said, I'm passionate about some things, and if I'm passionate about something, and almost sure, 'cause you're never sure about anything, then I'll voice my opinion, and maybe I'll go a little to the extreme on some things, but that's because that's something that is I feel very strongly about, and I have no shame whatsoever, and I'll say it in front of a judge, I'll say it in front of a cop, and I'm not going to regret it later. And if I do, then hey, there's always the lesson that I ain't going to regret. But anywho, we've got, let's see, fidelity. Fucking around on, not fucking around, whatever. We have love. Gosh, love. Yeah. Respect. That's going to be a big one. Patience. Probably going to be a short one. Yeah, that'll be more of an maybe an experiment in contemplation or something. I don't know. There's what's this one? This one is loyalty. That shouldn't have to be a big one. Happiness. Happiness is hard to find. Which, I mean, everybody just. I surprised myself with that one, actually. Hobbies. That's going to be fun. And that's where you're really going to get to realize just how much of a fucking weirdo I am. Not like, nothing like that, but there's murder again. Stay away from me, murder. Sex. Now, I'm not going to sit here and rub one out while I'm talking about clown suits and getting blood out of it. It's going to be more along the lines of the behavior of it and what people use it for and all this other crap. All right. We got, I should have used pen. Lies. Not big on lies, but, to each their own. There's frustration. All right, we should just do that fucker away. We got God. Now, this is where, that subject is going to be, like many subjects, like I will say offensive things, but if generally it's because I am validated enough and I have friends that understand it and that I could have a reference to make you feel bad for calling me it like racism. That's good. I should have worked that. I didn't do that one. Okay, but God, we're going to talk about God and not like what God is, but what I think. It's my opinion. I can say whatever the fuck I want. All right, empathy. Also, kind of a new development. Not a new development. Empathy. The new development is more of empathy towards people that I may have or may have not judged harshly in the past, and my experience is that fate or destiny, which I don't believe in either, has found to make sure that I was in the right place to make that determination to judge someone for any of these things. Trust. That'll be one. Depression. That's something there that not that I feel strongly about, but there's some things that are people be like, you think of depression, you think of sad, this and that, but if you listen to your if you listen to your radio or you watch TV, and a lot of motivation and creativity comes from depression. And I've got little theories on that, and not all the theories I have come from me. There might not be mine. I'm some kind of guru on something. I've read a lot of books. I've watched a lot of movies. I tend to lean more towards references and how tos and abilities and stuff that not saying that people that read fiction and all this other stuff. I mean that has its place too. Just maybe people do it for frustration, but I choose to learn so much shit that my room looks like it, or this room looks like it does now. Which won't be as honest and stuff. I might even embarrass myself just to motivate myself to do better. But freedom. Yes. We're not going to. I'm big on politics. I ain't going to discuss politics. I don't know enough about politics to even have an opinion on it. Other than I can have the opinion that politics is something that I don't get into. Suicide. I've got some views on that as well, and but we got what's upside down? Okay. Right, no, it wasn't. What the hell is hatred? Okay, yeah, hatred. Well, I already know a lot of topics are going to end up being more retrospective, looking back into the past, and like sometimes I have issues talking about certain things because I have found that I have a dislike and an unfair kind of bias towards traits in people that I see that I see in myself when I look back, and that I was embarrassed about or felt a certain type of way about, and I'm a pretty objective person. I've been called by some of my constituents the devil's advocate because no matter what we're talking about, what's going on, I'll be like, well, think of it this way. And I'm not being contrary. Sometimes I am, and sometimes I'm trying to prove a point without proving a point, because you're around a bunch of alpha males, or everybody no men, and or want to admit they're wrong, or men will just not back down because men don't back down. So I'm a Pisces, and I'm a assertive mediator. I don't know where the moon's at, whether it's waxing or waning, but some of the stuff's pretty spot on. But it's like a fortune cookie or a horoscope, even a broken clock's gonna be right twice a day. But you know, and a little more of an introduction to myself, which kind of skipped over. I am Hangman, or did I say that? But anyway, yeah, I'm Hangman. Uh, that's just what people call me. Um, Obviously, you could probably see my name somewhere on if you're looking at the screen or whatever. But if you know me, and you know why I'm Hangman. But I climb cell phone towers, hanging from cell phone towers. I have done body suspension in the past, and kind of before it was cool, with the hooks. I still have the hooks in the skin, because that dang old devil and whatnot. um, that's not sarcasm. That's just good old fashioned humor. Um, Hanging, stuff. I mess with ropes a lot because with tower stuff, and kind of hangman. Is I like the idea of a hangman, not so much the what he does, but just the whole general idea of it is he does a job that maybe it sucks, maybe it's not, maybe it doesn't suck, maybe he likes doing it, but he wears a mask, sits there, is completely, he's not the judge, he's just doing what he's there to do. All the decisions have been made by others, all the judgments laid down, and all uh, the moral stuff, and all the work's been done. Now it's just time for the the end. And I firmly do believe that regardless of what somebody does, that he or she who dies pays all debts, and I don't like to speak ill of the dead, and follow long enough, and you'll find out that I have a history with the dead, actually, and consider myself kind of a sin eater, for lack of a better word, which is not that I'm a godly ordained person to go around and try to take people's. No, I talk to I can carry a, a lot more than some people, and I'm up. It's just something I can do. Like I said, I've experienced some shit. And everybody thinks they've experienced this and that. But they're not. I'm fully aware of people that have experienced a lot different and worse. But worse is an arbitrary term. Like the PTSD. Some people that live the kind of just an average life or whatever. That they can get PTSD from a car crash or PTSD when their dog dies, and I know people that were in charge of squadrons of tanks when they were out there basically just picking off enemy tanks and taking over stuff. But those guys, uh, PTSD is a different thing. Uh, they might have it, they might this and that. I've been diagnosed. I should have wrote that on a thing. Diagnosis. How to remember that diagnosis. They got a name and a pill for everything. I don't buy it yet. Damn it, I did it again. Where was I going? Man, I'm about to make these record rewind. Remember what I was talking about? Oh, PTSD. All right. Well, yeah. I think everybody probably has post-traumatic stress. You know, um, because everybody that's been through something traumatic has a level of stress related to it. I would imagine. It takes a lot more for some people to become distressed about something. I've talked to uh, I've done a lot of talking to people. I've come to the conclusion that it's because people that have done fucked up things or been through. It's just you can tell. And if somebody fucked up, this or not fucked up. It's being judgmental. Stop being judgmental. But somebody that's got issues or feels like they're fucked up, they feel comfortable talking to somebody else that has been through something. I mean, that's kind of general basic knowledge. But you know, uh, when I get to start talking to people in the crowds that I previously and even that I run around in, uh, not social outcasts, so kind of social, more like I don't know, outlaw types, and we're generally all stick together, in groups because it's easier to deal with things when you surround yourself with like-minded people and you know make that your kind of go-to. But anyway, a lot of these people have been, they're veterans. I'm not a veteran of war anyway, for the government. And you get to talking to people, they get to know you, and if they feel comfortable sharing a messed up story, then you share a messed up story with them, and it's like they know, okay, well now, yeah, this guy's messed up. I can tell him anything. So I've heard stories of people, and telling a story about, for instance, in a tank, and he's like, yeah. When I met the guy, I thought, man, he's for sure is boisterous and seems to go overboard talking about all this stuff. And well, little did I know, but remember him telling a story of how I think they were going to get Saddam or out of the one of his palaces or whatever. Which I've met actually 5 people that that's weird too. But he made mention of something about a lady. He said, "Yeah, I seen a lady. She was up on the bridge with her thing, her freaking face mask, and she was praying to Allah, this and that. And that was 2,000 yards away, and he was in an M1 Abrams tank." And he said, "Yeah." She said, "They're praying that all her head disappeared." And he's like telling and not glorifying him. He's more just like telling a story. Well, probably a few months later, I went out to eat with that brother, and I'm pretty sure that brother is going to see this. And with some of his buddies, well, it turns out that he wasn't glorifying shit. He'd forgotten details. That was an interesting meal. But you know, I have I've met a lot of people that they've had different experiences of life, and different perspectives, but I have found that uh, I draw people that, you know, for some reason, I don't go around telling everybody what I did. Maybe I just look fucked up. Maybe I just look like I done some shit, and I get that too. But and it's kind of been a calling to me. Is I've been able to, for other people, I've always been able to uh, kind of seek out the ones that not that I don't care about people that haven't been, but anybody can help those people, and but not everybody. I see people that go through stuff like that, and I can empathize with how they feel, and because I have felt that, I felt it. I learned from feeling. That's how I'm a feeler. But I feel like I don't go into a situation like that looking for anything but to maybe something that I come across in my darkness and in my depression could help him come to terms with something, and uh, it's kind of led to a it's just a thing I do. I don't know why I do it. Like I said, I've never had empathy towards really strangers, and I don't do things in with expectation of praise or this or that, because I feel like that takes the grace out of it. Um, when you do something good and expect anything in return, I think that it takes, like I said, just takes the real out of it. You don't give somebody $1 to be like, first person you see is like, I'm such a good person. I'll give a guy $1 today, and I'm like, oh really? Okay, cool. Well, you just fucked that up. But kind of secretly, I've always, even pretty much throughout my life, I've always done things that kind of like going out and